Hi there, this is I'm preserving some peppers today. This is jalapenos, nice ripe red jalapenos, and I'm saving some of the seeds from the overripe ones, and these are going to get frozen. They're just going in a freezer bag and straight into the freezer. These are fresh picked and washed and diced up or cut up and going into freezer bags straight away and straight into the freezer. And these are my favorites as far as heat goes, because these are all edible for me anyway. They have a nice crunch and a nice bit of heat, not overpowering heat. So this is my red jalapenos. That's all. Thanks for watching. Hi there, this is the temperatures are going down at night, so I started to harvest as many of my peppers as I can. These are the Aleppos, and there's some jalapenos in here as well, and these little ones I think were wank that didn't develop. There's lots of them, little round ones. That's the other one, that's a jalapeno. And these are my Aleppos. These Aleppos can get quite big. I think this was an Aleppo that's fairly big, and I think I have actually harvested some that were much bigger than that too, but perhaps if I'd looked after them a bit better they would have got bigger, but that seems to be about the average for my crop size wise, as you can see. This is matchboxes, lots of them. They are very prolific. They're still producing flowers. This is the end of September. They would just go on producing. I suspect that they would probably work well indoors if they had enough light. If you put them under a grow light, you'd probably be able to keep them going and keep producing peppers. This is a bunch of nardellos, my favourite flavour I think, and some house tomatoes. I've had lots of them now. They were very slow for me to start with, but once they got going, I think I've had, I don't know, probably well over 100 tomatoes from them that my wife says are very good. And then my Gardener's Delight, it's done really well, probably about the same roughly. And then this is my curry squash, which this is all of them from 2 plants. So I guess I'm at the little bit higher than the average, although depends on how you want to call that. No, I'm at the average because they say 1.5 per plant. So I guess if you look at this one as being a half the size of this one, actually it's probably a lot less, but so actually probably below average if it's supposed to be 1.5 per plant. I had lots more, but the bugs just ate them. Snails, slugs mostly, and squash bugs and cucumber beetles, you name it. I think there might have even been some stem borer in there too. So that's where I'm at. This is a picking day today. I think it's September the 27th. And there's a bunch more matchbox. This is all black Hungarians, which are very nice. Mild heat, actually milder. They seem to get milder the more they ripen. I think they had more heat earlier when they were black, and now they're milder, but that's fine for me. I like it that way. So these are great for me. They have a nice taste, different to a jalapeno, nicer than a jalapeno, not quite as raw. And then this is a whole basket mixed in here. This is the dough hill, and this is the mini yellow bell. That's kind of what the mini yellow bell should look like, and probably slightly bigger than that, but they're really sweet. Both of these are good. Both of these are excellent flavour, very similar. And then there's a lipstick, jalapenos. These were my jalapenos from Save Seed last year. Excellent taste wise, and heat, mild heat, much more than these black Hungarians, but enough for me. And these are Espelets, which are too much for me. Can't eat these raw now, they're too hot, but I'm going to powder them. And as you can see, I've got some drying naturally here. These are almost dry, not far off. That's almost dry. And then I've got more Matchbox drying naturally, and then I've got a bunch of things in the dehydrator again. More some of the tomatoes, some of each, and more apples. I've got some Honeycrisp apples in there to see what they're, and if they're any sweeter. And there's a tray of hot peppers and a tray of lipsticks. So there's some dry ones from very early in the season. So that's it. That's my update. Not so red out here now, but I'm kind of concerned about a frost. We have already had one frost. About 2 weeks ago we had a frost. We've been hot weather for the last 2 weeks, and now we're getting into a snap cold, and I think we're going down to 6 tonight. So where we are, we're very exposed to the wind, so 6 usually means a white frost. So I'm trying to get as many of my peppers picked as I can. These ones close to the house should still be okay. There's a bunch of Nardellos at the back close to the house, should be fine. So this is my Mennonite yellows. I had to cut off the big one I had. This one hopefully is starting to ripen. I'm going to have about 6 or 7 still left, hoping that my wife gets a taste of them. But so far they've been okay. I cut all the blighty ones out, but there's blight in the stem there, and so far it hasn't spread, only to the close tomatoes that were around it. Everything's looking a little sorry for itself. I just watered a little while ago, so in about an hour these will all be perked back up again. Anyway, got some carrots coming. My basil's been really good, growing faster than I can use it, so I started to dry some of that. Most of this will get dried in the dehydrator. It's one of my house tomatoes that's been trimmed right back. Yeah, I think it's got a little bit of blight on it, so I'm not sure whether that probably won't be coming in the house. And I've got mildew on some of the others, so these Matchbox are just very, very prolific. I wish I could eat them raw, but they're going to get powdered along with all the other peppers that are too hot, and that's the easiest way for me to use them. So this is my house tomatoes, looking a little sorry for themselves. I did a bit of maintenance on them about 2 weeks ago, and they're starting to get some mildew and other problems. Not sure. I'm going to keep an eye out for aphids. I don't see any at the minute, but they've been very prolific. It's the word of the day today. Prolific. So that's my update. Thanks for watching. Late September update. Bye for now. Here's my some of my butternut squash. I picked these a week or so ago, these two, and then this one a couple of days ago, and there's lots more like this size. There's also, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's about 7 of the Tahitians at different levels. Some that are almost, 2 that are almost this colour, 3 or 4 that have turned towards this colour from green, they're stripy, and then I think about another 3 that are still green but is almost as big as this one. One that's potentially twice as big as this one. Very big. I don't think that one's gonna get a chance to change its colour, but maybe it will. Maybe a frost will hurry it along. So there you go, there's my sample of my squash without the Tahitians. I'll probably do a quick look at the Tahitians out in the garden and add it on to this video. Thanks for watching, bye for now. Hi there, this is the end of September garden update. That's my parsnips. They seem to have put on a spurt of growth with the heat that we've just had. We just had about a week and a half of 80 to 90 degree, almost 100 on one day. And now we're back to cooler weather. We're back to 60s, 60 to 70, 60s today, Fahrenheit. So I've got 2 buckets still with you Yukon Golds. I'm expecting them to have about 2 pounds each, because that seems to be what the other 3 yielded. So I've got the tops removed and they're just storing. So I had 2 pounds each from the other 3 buckets. Still got some beets in, still got some nice carrots in there. My miner's spinach has gone to seed, so I will save some of those seeds. Marigold's doing good, and taking over the bed the nasturtiums. Peppers are just about finished out here. Bugs got quite a few of them, snails mostly, and my sunflowers, they're past their pretty stage. Garden wise, trees still pretty green. We're starting to get some fall colours, but a little bit of colour in the tops of some of the trees, but it's hanging in there pretty good. That tree at the front there usually goes red, but my leaves are gone on the, pretty much gone on the ash tree. So that's the look of the garden. I got my, because we had the hot weather last week, my cucumbers came back to life. So there's 3 new cucumbers. And now we're going to get some cold weather again, potentially frosts at night. So poor things won't know what's hit them. These are my peanuts. Nah, didn't do any good, I don't think. These peppers did pretty good though. I'm very happy with the peppers from this bed. My marigold suffered a lot. It seems to be, I hope it comes back again next year, but it's died right back. Seems to be starving for, I've had the sprinkler on it, but my strawberry bed still producing. Another prolific, they're ever, what do they call them? Can't think of it. Ever bearing, that's it. Tastes good when they get ripe. Had a couple yesterday. This bed's pretty much done. There's some brassicas in there that are bug eaten. And my peppers, squash. A new one there, and they're still flowering and they're still growing. Another new one over there. So this is my peppers here I've picked over, and what ones are left are mostly bug eaten or not ripe. So this is my squash patch. There's some Walthams there, and also a smaller Tahitian. So there's still about maybe 10 or 12 Walthams out here, decent size. And still flowering and still making. They keep going. If we had milder weather, they keep going. Lots of little hidden ones. I'm going to try and make this quick. There's a Tahitian standing up, and there's a really big Tahitian in here. It's huge. I don't know whether you can make that out. It's hard to see whether it's because it's camouflaged. And there's that's a Tahitian right there. And that's what they look like. That's the colour. They're sort of going the same sort of colour as the Walthams. There's a couple of Tahitians here, very green. Give you a better look at this Tahitian. It's about, 16 inches long, 18 inches maybe. Same as that one. That one's a bit bigger. And that's about it, because I've taken all my curry squash out. So all that's left is the Tahitians and the rest of the Walthams. So there should be about 10 or more, maybe 12 Walthams, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 of the Tahitians out here. So that's it. And we'll have a quick look at the grapes. Trying to move along with this. They finally started to turn colour, and the wasps starting to get interested in them, so I guess the sugar's starting to build in them. There's plenty of them, but not enough of them ripe yet. And probably a frost would hurry these guys on too, as long as it's not too severe. Lots and lots of grapes. Pretty sure I'm going to have more grapes than I've ever had. The problem I had with them early on seems to be confined to this side. There's some that are just gone brown. I don't think it's bunch rot, because it's only affecting individual grapes. It's not affecting bunches. So it just seems to affect singles, 1 or 2 from each bunch. Aye, there's lots of grapes to pick. This is going to take me all day. Well, anyway, that's it. That's where I'm going to leave you. Oh, I might take a quick look at the construction behind. We'll do that. So this is what's going on. A couple of mountains of sand, and they're getting the sewers in along where the roads are going. So there's 3 big backhoes working on that at the same time. so they're determined to make some progress. This is actually I'm up in the air here. The bank goes down about 6 feet. I can show you better a bit further up. I'll be back in a minute. That stone there, or rock I should say, is at the bottom of the graded hill that comes up. So that's probably 6 foot difference in height from where I'm standing, where that is almost. So that's it. Looks a lot different to what it used to, a cornfield. But anyway, there you go. Got some turkey vultures circling over in the distance there. That's it. That's my update. Thank you for watching. Oh, back again. I'm gonna zoom in. You can see the crane in the distance there, and they have a tower crane next to it. That's the new hospital. It's being built by Ellis Dawn. That's all. This is a potential another add-on. This is my garden from looking towards the northeast, the east. The trees are still nice and green for late September. I'm just thinking about turning maples. These usually go fairly quickly. Oh, nice bit of sun. It's very cloudy today. Anyway, there's my garden, end of September.